You know, excuse me. One moment here. So, I haven't been by the computer. I'm setting some stuff up while Chet is getting you guys started, but I got a text message about the music. What's going on, man? What are you doing? Yeah. Well, knock it off. We'll get started in just a couple of minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, if you could smash the like button, oh man, would that be so freaking cool. We would really like it. And chat, if you... Yo, I love lo-fi, but I just don't like sad. We should be like, there's a fine line between like chill and sad. You know what I mean? Celebrity in the chat, everyone. What up? What up, Jay? What up, Drunk? Super jealous still. I don't like that one. Alright, we're gonna go with this just because the title's funny. Right on. Okay. Oh, alright, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get it started. Let's get it going. Good morning. Good morning to all you nerd vengers, broke vengers, visitors to the tower, internet celebrities, Gina Carano friends. What up? Welcome to the show. Welcome to 2021. Wow, we made it. Okay, First thing, right off the bat, I'm going to really try not to swear this year. We're going to make it this whole fucking year. We're really going to try that. I'm kidding, of course. But we are going to try. We're going to try not to swear. So, yeah, we'll try. We're cleaning up this show. Big changes coming in 2021 for us, and I'm sure for many of you. Today, I want to talk about the most pertinent changes. That is, entertainment's coming back. That's going to be cool. Marvel's coming back. DC's coming back. Star Wars, even Star Wars, to a large degree, is coming back. Of course, The Mandalorian 2 won the internet in 2020, I think. It's not even close. Birds of Prey. What else won? What else could have won 2020? I mean, obviously, Rona, but I mean, in the sense that, from an entertainment perspective, what was the cream of the crop? It was The Mandalorian, yes? Yes? Joey Exotic had a good run. He trended for a long time. But then Baby Yoda smashed him. Gone. Right? Has to be. What else was more popular than The Mandalorian in 2020? There was nothing. The Mandalorian saved 2020. Minus The Mandalorian in 2020, I'm pretty sure we all would have lost our mother flipping minds. So, the question is, as we look out on the precipice of 2021, the birth of a new year, new hope, dreams, and plenty of awesome nerdy shit to distract us from, well, life. What will be the best this year? What will win? What will steal the hearts and minds of normies and nerdvengers alike? What do you think? Now, my money, honestly, and this is, I think, a safe bet, actually. But my money is on Spider-Man! Spider-Man 3! Let's go! Loki's gonna be good. Okay, now, look. We're gonna get into all the fucking... No. I mean, we're gonna get into all the friggin... No. Listen. I know, Snyder Cut as well. I know, it's going to be a big year. Okay, so let's just start here. How about this? Put a 1 into the chat if you think Spider-Man 3, which maybe I should double check. That is coming out next year. Yes, it got the November date, if I'm not mistaken, right? See how much research we do on this show. I'm pretty sure, and I'll do a little quick Googleette. I believe it's supposed to hit. They gave the November date to it, right? They gave the original Spider-Man 3 date to it. Correct? December? Okay. What? Really? Is that true? Holy mother of the beard of Zeus. Wow. Okay. So big play. Big holiday movie. Okay. Put a 1 into the chat if you think Spider-Man 3 will win 2021. It will be the biggest thing. It will steal all the hype. It'll be the craziest thing. Put a 1 into the chat. Let's see them. Let's see them ones. Cool. Cool. Okay. So, yeah. Obi-Wan. 2022 is likely Obi-Wan, yes. Although Obi-Wan is a filming Obi-Wan is a filming today, eh? Yeah, Obi-Wan's apparently filming right now. Show you a little of it if you want. Okay. So the obvious reason that this would be the biggest thing ever, the reason this would be the biggest thing ever is, of course, bringing back Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, having that set up. Now, here's the thing. The film itself, from everything we've heard from the rumors, is beyond ambitious. This is beyond ambitious. This is redonkulous, quite frankly, as they will be bringing in multiple Spider-Men who are all Peter Parker from different realities. And within those different realities, they look like different people. That might not, on the surface, seem like a big deal, but it is. We've also heard about all the villains coming back. I mean, at this point, name me a villain that isn't going to be in Spider-Man 3. That's probably easier. You know what I mean? Like, probably. So, it's going to be nuts, dude. You put that together. Here's where I think, this is really where I think the movie's going to really like just launch into a stratosphere and really separate itself from a lot of other really, really good stuff out there, but just not like this, is because I think really what the Spider-Verse tease in Spider-Man 3 really is, and again, we've talked about this before, but what it really is setting up Spider-Verse over in Sony, and also perhaps, if we are the luckiest nerds within our own multiverse, they will also be doing behind-the-scenes work to allow the Sony Spider-Verse to intersect with Marvel's Secret Wars. And that will create a nerdy cornucopia of sorts. I don't know if that's the right word. It'll be dope. Okay? So, kind of hard for me not to say that Spider-Man 3 will be the best and the craziest. It's definitely the thing that I'm most interested in this year. Like, what the actual fuck? By the way, while we're on that subject, while we're on that nerdgasm like you wouldn't believe. Indeed, sir. Indeed, sir or madam. Indeed. You know, I saw someone saying as we were starting this stream, they were like, I can't wait to see this Insomnia Live. Is that what we should call the show? Should we just call the show Insomnia Live? And as I slip further and further into derangement, will that probably be good for the show? I don't know. Anyway. Yeah, man. It would be hard for me not to pick Spider-Man 3. Now, let's go all the way to the beginning of the year. I want to totally flip it. I want to talk about the Snyderverse. I want to talk about DC. In fact, for a second, if I may, I'd like to talk about the massive drop that Wonder Woman 1984 had in the box office. I'm going to say something kind of radical. Well, maybe it's not radical. I don't know anymore. I think Wonder Woman 84 is a disaster, but I think it would have been even more of a disaster in a non-pandy world, believe it or not. Yeah. Because I think the movie is legit not that good. I think there's legit not that much interest in it. And I also think that, sure, there's a lot of, obviously, the stuff going on with the pandy that is impacting box office, but the switch to digital and, like, consumer behavior was already changing quite a bit. I think both Wonder Woman and Black Widow, interestingly enough, are kind of lame duck films. Lame duck films, man. And this is why I said, like, way early in that horrible year that was last year, that neither one of those movies were going to be profitable. Now, you could imagine Black Widow still has a chance to be profitable. I just don't see it. I don't see it at all. Okay? Regardless, man, what this is what's so interesting, and there's dare I say it, a Zen lesson here. Warner Brothers was one of the only studios last year that really tried to force out big blockbusters within that environment. Like, you know, Disney did their own version of it with Mulan. Like, Disney had their own kind of like little, ooh, you know, oh shit, that hurts, you know, kind of thing. But Warner Brothers with, I mean, 3 different films, kind of, you know, you've got your Birds of Prey, which, by the way, would have tanked regardless. And I think it was barely touched by all of that. And then you've got Tenet. And then you've got Wonder Woman 1984. Now, you know, you can read the data in like all sorts of different ways, but regardless of what narrative you try to build with it, it's bad, dude. Like, it's really bad. Like, it's really bad. It's a bad outlook for theaters in general. It's so weird to me because Warner Brothers forced that, trying to be the studio that saved the theatrical experience. They may well have become the studio that put one of the final nails in the coffin of not the theatrical experience, but the industry created around it. There's a lot of, you know, commerce created around the theatrical experience. That's really what it is. You know what I mean? But it may be bye-bye. Because how soon, like, just look at these numbers. That's Wonder Woman, dude. That was $1 billion. I mean, like, you can if you want to spin it bad, like, here's the thing. You have now given ammunition to the other side. To the people like Jason Kilar, to the people like in the telecommunications side of things that are like, I don't really give a crap about box office. You know what I mean? You've given them ammunition because now it's like, what are our options here? To put out numbers that are a little bit more public and get crushed. You know what I mean? Because especially with regards to this is something that's kind of interesting. If you look at the box office of pardon me, Aquaman, Suicide Squad, and Wonder Woman, a very weighted audience in the foreign box office, non-domestic. And why does that matter? Because you get way less of that money back, way less. So, like, Wonder Woman on paper looked like a movie that competed with like a lot of Marvel movies, as did Aquaman, but not really. Like, if you really look at it, not really, dude. So that Wonder Woman situation is really weird. DC finds themselves, and Warner Media, but I don't really care about Warner Media, but they're connected to DC, so we'll talk about it. They are in a weird spot. They are in a precarious situation going into 2021. Their relationship with studios and Hollywood people, damaged. Damaged, dude. Their relationship with fans, damaged, dude. Damaged. Like, it's just crazy. Like, they just don't have the brand strength. You know what I mean? Like, I was thinking about this the other day, and I was like, dude, going forward, like, Marvel is going to be super hard to beat. Star Wars is going to be super hard to beat. If, like, Star Wars is their own worst enemy, if they just get certain people out of the way, like, it's over. DC, however, is just in a bad spot. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how ready some of these numbers are, or how accurate some of these numbers are for the HBO Max subscriber count, but it is like bad, dude. It's not good. Like, what? Jeez, man, y'all need to get your together over there. Like, but HBO Max is cool. I love the service. I do. These nuts, I see you. Yeah, I like it a lot. I think it's great. I watched a crazy-ass sci-fi movie on there yesterday called Code 46. Crazy movie. You should check it out. So there's a lot of great stuff. But let's go into the Snyderverse, because this is where we're going with this. And you know what? Star Wars show, Star Wars Talk Show in the chat kind of brings up the exact antithesis of this point. This is yet again another reason why DC finds himself in such a precarious situation. Because he's talking about how he doesn't get it. He's not a DC fan. What exactly is the Snyder Cut? What is this, okay? For the outsider, for the normie, they have like no idea what the hell's going on. And think about how, and this is actually a perfect example of why Star Wars should probably not retcon the sequel trilogy. Like, case in point. Because, okay, last week a story ran. We touched on it a little bit on New Year's, but we didn't like go deep. About how they're officially running with multiple Batman franchises cinematically over at Warner Brothers. And, like, people lost their shit, dude. Like, people were like, what? Like, super confused and, like, didn't like it and stuff. It was, like, weird to watch. I was like, what? Now, there are plenty of people like us, the big sweaties, that are like, dude, don't care. Don't care. You know what I mean? But overall, it did seem like it actually did confuse people. And, like, for instance, I recall going to... Did anybody have this experience when they went to see Rogue One? When I went to see Rogue One, we walked out of the theater, and my mom said, hey, that was great, but where was Rey? And then, you know, we talk about the thing with The Witcher, right? Where, like, people watch The Witcher, and they're like, what? And even the Spider-Man 3 multiverse, all this craziness, bro, even all that is still a little bit like our normies going to be able to hold on. Now, Marvel has earned that. Like, Marvel has created brand loyalty, trust, and just... They've just made so many people happy and had so many fun experiences cinematically and at home and things like that, that people will just give them the benefit of the doubt and be like, it'll make sense. Besides, in Endgame, they take something as complex as a Mobius strip and a concept of reality, and they literally kind of boil it down to Tony just figuring it out and being like, holy shit. That's literally how they do it. It's just RDJ going like, holy shit, I figured it out. And you're like, yeah. So they can figure that out. You know what I mean? How to sort of, and they're really brilliant at like how Thor introduces like a little bit of magic and like the connection between magic and science, right? And then they sort of, you know, it introduces a little bit of the space, and then you get into Guardians and it introduces a little bit more of the space and a little bit more of the lore with the stones. It's like they're very good at sort of breadcrumbing you along. You know what I mean? Anyway, DC is in trouble, man, because I don't think anybody has, like, there's no one DC thing to point to and to, like, get excited about. And so the idea of the multiverse, this is what's interesting to me. I've been thinking about this a lot. The idea of the multiverse, everything they're doing with hopefully Michael Keaton, I do believe he is signed big time. But I'm also confused about, like, how all this shit's working. But, yeah, if they do that big thing with Michael Keaton, when they said multiple Batmans, ladies and gentlemen, I literally believe... And there's a lot of evidence to support this. You've got Michael Keaton Batman, who is going to be training up a young either Terry McGinnis or Barbara as Batman Beyond. Okay? That is likely happening. Okay? And then the other one they're talking about is, you know, doesn't know how to work out, can't get along with Matt Reeves, friggin' crazy dude, Robert Pattinson. Okay? And then you sort of got third option over here, which is really Ben Affleck in the Deathstroke thing, which I'm really hoping actually goes, and I've heard some good things about that, okay? But regardless, like, how do you explain that to, like, a normie audience that, like, you've got Batman over here? Like, it's just, I don't know. It's, despite their best efforts to make it all make sense via the multiverse, and maybe the Flash film will do this. The Flash film has the like, it has the stage, and that would be the place to do it, to try to fully explain this stuff and break it down for people. Because I'll tell you this, that explanation during DC fandom was ass. It was ass. It was like the worst thing. Like, it was very bad. So if they can like cinematically explain it and get people on board, like boom, then we're good. But I don't know, man. I've got some questions. You know, I also worry about like these HBO Max shows. You know, because you got to think about this. Marvel is riding a sort of, I mean, you could call it a 10-year, but that's like not true. It's really more like a 4 to 5 year wave, you know, because they sort of dipped or whatever. But like Marvel's riding this like 5-year wave. And then of course they took a whole year off, but like they were riding this huge wave of momentum where millions and millions of people from all around the world were falling in love with these characters and falling in love with the universe. DC just simply does not have that. And so, you know, they go to do the Suicide Squad spinoff with James Gunn. I'm going to watch the shit out of it. I'm super excited. But the bottom line is, like, if it doesn't hit certain metrics, who cares? Like, the Suicide Squad movie, I think is going to be dope. But until it blows the collective minds and hearts of nerds away, then, like, there is no draw to the show. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's no inherent draw for normies, is what I'm saying. You see? So DC is like, I don't know, bro. I don't know. And even when it comes to the Snyder Cut, the best thing they have going on for them, I don't care what you think, unless you agree with me on that one, and then we're good. But like, the Snyder Cut is the best and biggest thing they have going for them. But even that is rooted in controversy. It is not a universal thing. As much as I love, you know, us united and this as a concept, and like, yeah, it's great for nerds to work together. Let's face facts, man. There are a ton of DC fans that are like, screw Snyder, screw that dark bull crap. You know what I mean? Screw all the friggin' cool, like the cool blues and all that warm greens. Like, screw the color palette, screw the action. Screw his taste in music. I don't like any of it. I hate all of it. There are a lot there. I would wager there's a fair bit of fans that feel that way. And so what I'm saying is, even the freaking centerpiece of their meal, the main course, is just dripping with controversy. It's a tough spot to be in. We'll see. I'm rooting for you. I am rooting for you, DC. So let's do this as an experiment. Because I do think the Snyder Cut is going to be huge. Put a 1 into the chat if you think the Snyder Cut has a chance. To be the biggest thing in 2021. Yeah, D's nuts. We get it. D's nuts. You can't vote multiple times. Somebody time him out. Wow, that's a lot of 1s. It's more than I thought we would get. Wow. Yeah, a lot of no's though. You see? Do you see how different that is than the other one we did? Like, just look at the feedback, man. There's a lot of people that are like, nah, man. You know what I mean? So we'll see. I think they really need to blow people away. By the way, just so everybody knows, if you're new here, we will be doing Q&A, and I will answer all super chats, but that happens at the end of the stream, which we'll get to in about 10, 15, 20 minutes or so. Then we'll do like a half hour of Q&A, and then we'll get out of here, okay? So yeah, with regards to the Snyder Cut, it would really have to do, I don't even know if they know for sure if they're doing the 4 episodes or not. I think they are, but like, I've heard some weird things too. So I don't know. Zach is like editing it all right now. So who knows? Look, I know this is the saddest part of this whole situation. I know, or I believe that, a lot of the talent over there wants to be involved. Like, I think, Leto has literally said, he sort of teased. We're going to get into the Boba series. We're like, yeah, well, calm down there, guy. We'll get into the Boba series. Leto has sort of teased that, and just because of some of the things that I know behind the scenes and the potential of that is really, really cool, right? That's pretty sweet. I also think the Green Lantern thing, if they get who I think they're going to get, that would be incredible. That would be really cool for fans. And the thing that's interesting, too, is that the film may end in a way. It's possible that Zach will end this movie in a way that gives us a completely new jumping off point. Meaning, maybe there's 3 branches to this. Maybe the one is Joss Whedon. Maybe the other branch out of here is Zach's original vision for his 5-film arc moving forward, okay? And now the reality that we are in is the way he will take something that was going to happen over here, put it over here, and give us a completely new place to go with whatever characters he would like. Whatever characters are on board. Whatever actors are on board. Do you kind of see what I'm saying? That'd be cool, man. I would like that. All right, let's talk Star Wars. Everybody wants to talk Star Wars. Let's get into Star Wars. So, DC, we love you. You probably don't have a chance in hell. We're rooting for you. We'll see what happens, okay? Star Wars. The thing about Star Wars is, I think we got some High Republic stuff coming, right? Visions, possibly, which, oh man, Visions to me, really cool. Wish we knew more about it. It's Marvel Monday, says Godfather. Godfather, we stopped doing that. And besides, we're gonna end with Marvel, and we started with Marvel. Relax. Jesus Christ. We just got over talking Star Wars for like 9 weeks. Okay. So, we got Visions. We've got Bad Batch. Don't sleep on the Bad Batch. That's going to be dope. But then, very likely, ladies and gentlemen, we are only going to have Book of Boba. Now, I think in 2022, we will get Ahsoka, Rangers, and Mando 3. I think that's the formula. And I think it'll be like, ba-da-bup, and then ba-da-bup. That's just, we don't know for sure, but that's what I think, okay? So, put a 1 into the chat if you think with only those shows that Star Wars can have the biggest year. That Star Wars could win the internet between these 3 companies. Put a 1 into the chat if you believe that. And if you don't, say no or say nah or whatever, Wow, there's actually some 1s. There is actually some 1s. Now, let me put a little caveat in here for you guys. Technically, Boba doesn't even count because Boba will not end before the new year. Well, I shouldn't say that for sure because we don't know. There's actually a possibility. There's weird possibilities out there, but it's more than likely that Book of Boba happens like December 21st, and we don't even finish it until like weeks into 2022. So I kind of don't even think Boba counts. So really, it's going to be Visions and Bad Batch. Both animated, just no way it can do it. Because I love animation, and I love Star Wars animation, but there's a 0% chance that normies will get behind that even close to the same way that they get behind like the Snyder Cut. Do you know what I mean? Now, it's Star Wars, so they'll do massive numbers. Like, it'll do massive numbers. We'll talk about it here. We will have a lot of fun this year. And Star Wars news will be massive this year because they're planning and doing things like, remember how last year we had all the news about Mandalorian and the Ahsoka show and all the other stuff that we talked about. We will have another big round of news like that as we head towards Celebration in 2022. Okay? So, without further information or a big surprise from Star Wars, which is possible, but without that, there's just no way that I see Star Wars winning. So now let's talk Marvel so that Godfather can stop breathing so heavily. Marvel is going to do more than dominate this year. Marvel was set up to dominate last year already. And they literally took a year off, and as frustrating as it was for me as a fan, and it was very frustrating, I also saw, and we reported on, and we talked about how this little break or pause or slowdown or whatever you want to call it, that period in time actually helped Marvel out quite a bit. Because one of the most underreported facts of 2019 is that around October, I think heavily correlated to the falling out of the Sony Marvel deal, there was a massive behind the scenes switch around, movement, change up, if you will, for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I know this for a fact. I also know that in 2020, there were two massive similar shufflings. Right? But some of it in 2020 was just because of scheduling and what was going on. The point is, Kevin Feige is the greatest producer of all time, bar none, period. The greatest producer of all time. Maybe one of the most gifted artistic minds of our time, but that's yet to be seen. Like, way, way yet to be seen. We will have to see much more to make a conclusion like that. But this dude did not sit on his hands. You know, I once talked to some people, because I'm a fanboy. Okay, I will just say it. I am a stan. I stan Kevin Feige. I am a huge fan. Okay, I'm going to write a book about him later in my life. I've talked about this openly. I find him to be a fascinating individual. I'm going to write a book about this guy. You know what I mean? So I've talked to people that know him, right? And this guy is he has an insane work ethic. Like, find me a person that works harder than Kevin Feige. Like, literally, like, just phone call, email. He is constantly giving input, having meetings, looking at the macro, worrying about the micro, signing massive deals, thinking big time ahead. You know what I mean? Like just an insane work ethic. And if you think that guy just sat back in 2020 and was like, wow, we're taking a year off, thank God, because the Infinity Saga was pretty fucking exhausting, I'm gonna be real. Like, holy shit. You know? No. He was quietly helping Star Wars get back on track. He was signing and figuring out a deal with Sony that will still baffle the mind once we finally figure it out. It's baffling, dude. Like, how the fuck did Sony walk... Oh, my God, I'm sorry. How did Sony walk away from the deal last time and be like, hey, man, we bought this license from you. We have Spider-Man. You have zero leverage. And then come crawling back and apparently, rumor, sign a deal to give Feige Holland indefinitely? He had zero leverage. Like, what? So, Marvel's going to absolutely dominate. And dominate in ways that, like, it's actually hard to even predict. I think WandaVision, and I've talked to the producers about this, because WandaVision does not have buzz. At all. Like, there's a few people that think it's real cool. You know, a few people that are excited for it. But overall, no. It's not really trending. It's not... Not really. Nope. Not really. Not compared to other things. I do this for a living. I look at the data. But once that first episode hits, man, I'm going to tell you right now, once that first episode hits, it is going to blow people away. It is going to blow people away. And I think we will get into a scenario here where WandaVision will... Man. WandaVision... Look, I don't want to predict too much because we don't know how an audience will react to it, right? But I'm going to tell you this. I think WandaVision could go down as... It's going to be good, dude. I have heard people say that WandaVision is the best thing that Kevin Feige has ever created. It is the best thing that has ever been created under the watch of Kevin Feige. It is the best thing that Marvel Studios has ever produced. It blurs the line between television, streaming, and cinema. It represents the future of storytelling and interactive content that does things that take advantage of the form. It's not just good stuff in a new medium. It is stuff that takes advantage of the form. So, in my opinion, it's going to be difficult to get WandaVision videos to pop off until WandaVision pops off. You know what I mean? But once that happens, whew, it's going to be crazy, dude. It's going to be crazy. So... that is literally only the beginning, right? I think Black Widow is going to be dope as hell. Way better than Wonder Woman. Look, I didn't want to go there. But it's going to literally thrash that film, dude. And that's kind of on Patty. She did a movie with very little action. And she took away her powers. I mean, anyway. That movie's not even good. It's not even going to be a great film, but it's going to be so much better than all the biggity bullshit that we've been corporately fed from a lot of these other studios for a long, long time. That movie's going to be cool. And then you get Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Holy shit. People don't even know. Fuck. Mutants. Super Soldier Serum. Thunderbolts. Come on, man. They don't even know. It's gonna be mind-boggling. You know, it's so crazy to put your mind in a bottle. Yeah. Mind-boggling. Dude, let me tell you about the Eternals. I want to tell you a little bit about the Eternals. I want to give you my opinion on the Eternals and Chloe. And the thing is, I'm going to be really frank, and it's going to offend some people, but I just have to speak honestly about how I feel. Okay? I just have to speak honestly about how I feel. Take it or leave it. The Mandalorian Season 2 has a lot of female empowerment in it. It's just not done flagrantly with zero substance and zero artistic integrity. It's actually done well. And so therefore, if you're into that sort of thing, you cheer and we don't boo. If you aren't into that sort of thing, you're like, but it's still dope. That's kind of nice, right? So if I was a producer and I was living in this 2021 culture, and I knew that getting a female director was a big deal, okay? Just people, there are certain people, and there are, arguably a large amount of people to which that means a great deal. If I'm a producer in a spot like that, where I need a female director, I'm looking for the coolest female director there is. Because I don't want a female director that just is a female director. I also want an incredible talent with incredible sensibilities, someone that's pure nerd AF, someone that I can trust, someone that loves the craft, someone that loves the character, someone that's inspirational. I want an amazing director, an amazing person that just happens to be female so that I can satisfy some other people, okay? Chloe is that lady. Let me tell you a couple of things about her. She actually did not grow up watching a lot of film. When she grew up, there was not a lot of movies around her, and her family was not, they didn't have a lot of money, and the culture and everything was just different, and so she didn't have a lot of film. And that might seem odd to you. You might be like, well, then how did she become the director? I thought you were trying to get me excited for this bitch, and she doesn't know anything. Relax. She grew up reading manga. Her palette, her framing, the way she thinks about action, the way she thinks about film, motion, cuts, all these different things, comes from manga. Dude, that is incredible. She's also apparently photographically magical. And I use that word intentionally because she shot most of this film at magic hour. Do we have any photographers in the chat? Does anybody know what magic hour is? And why it's so cool? Anybody? Yeah. So it's this time right before sunset where there's sort of a weird illumination that happens where within the whether it's the emulsion of the whether it's a film camera or a digital camera, you can catch this sort of glow in the air, and it almost attaches to things. It's really weird. Magic hour is really cool. The other thing that's really cool about this is Feige really let Chloe go to town. Like, he gave her kind of like carte blanche. And one of the reasons I think this happened is because her pitch for the Eternals was beautiful, and it's this character-based, I think, we don't know, but I think it's kind of this character-based, almost Greek god love story / should we care about humans / also let's teach you all about the MCU kind of movie, right? Oh, I miss Shang-Chi? Yeah, we'll talk about Shang-Chi as well, but not today, actually, because I just want to get into Q&A after this. Regardless, man, like, the point is, the TLDR on Chloe is look her shit up, dude, and just, if you start to look at what's going on in that film, I just think we're in for something really special with that movie. You know, I think we are in for something really, really special. And I believe Feige was like, okay, here's your movie. I need to insert this, that, second, and the third to make, A, B, C, and D connect. And she was likely like, that's totally fine. Like, you seem really cool. Let's play together. You can bring some of your toys. I'll bring some of my toys, and let's play together. And yeah, so I'm really excited for Eternals. Like, really excited. So, let's get into Q&A. That was a nice little preview, yes? Let's do a little... And by the way, I hope nobody was offended by that. That's just how I feel. You know what I mean? It's not fact. That's just how I feel. Someone's about to get banned? Oh, I can't wait. Let's check out the... Who's about to get banned? All right. I'll start reading through the Super Chats. Ladies and gentlemen, if you would like... to guarantee that your question gets answered within reason, drop a super chat in, and I'll go over all of those. If you don't have any loot, don't worry about it. Not a big deal. Just throw it into the chat. We'll go over what people are saying into the regular chat as well, okay? And I'm actually going to switch. I'm going to go to iced coffee number 2. Did you guys see the Ben Affleck? I asked this over the weekend with the Nerd Vengers, but did you guys see the Ben Affleck... like Dunkin' Donuts? Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. Maximilian says, oh man. Maximilian comes in with a 50 of some kind of currency. Thank you so much, Maximilian. That's a great name. God damn. It's a good name. Thanks for the support, man. I appreciate you. Big Stevie says it made over 100 million so far. Unless we know how many subs Wonder Woman 84 picked up for Max and how many viewed it, we can't really call it a failure or success. Its perception has thrown everything up in the air. Well, okay, so I agree and I disagree. So success in, look, it's all weird how you want to determine it, but here's the thing. Here's my point, Steve. We are currently living in a system in which there are a bunch of institutional mechanisms or apparatus that are used to determine the success or the quality of a thing. One of them, Rotten Tomatoes, Box Office Mojo, all these different metrics, numbers, blah, blah, blah. Because the world hasn't necessarily caught up to the reality of the situation, we're still judging Wonder Woman 84 as though it were swimming in the old pool. It is not, but until such time as we realize we're now in the shallow end, or we're in the shallow pool or the kiddie pool when it comes to box office, these numbers look horrible, dude. So it's a failure in so many ways, Steve, that I've been very kind to this movie, but if you look around the internet, you will very quickly find many other people that have not been as kind to it. It is getting shit on, my guy. But I appreciate the love and the support as always. You know me though. I gotta tell you how I feel. Whack Video Productions with the $5 holla says, "Good morning, Josh. Do we have a date for the cut yet?" Also, I assume you're talking about the Snyder Cut. I believe they will start to ramp up. I believe around February, you're going to get a lot more information. And I think in the next couple of weeks, that you're going to get a lot more information. So I would like to see it come out around March. But we'll see, I guess, huh? Mason Graves with the $2 holla says, 2021 is year of Marvel. 2022 is year of Star Wars. I can get behind that, actually. That makes sense to me. The only problem... Chet. The only problem with that is... I feel like Marvel has a hell of a 2022 planned as well, dude. What? Good God. I am not going to be getting a lot of sleep in the next couple of years. Lord Vito with the $5 holla says, shout out to my man, Al Schuler. I know you're going to get better. You're a strong mofo. Nerd Vengers represent. Yes, if you didn't know, Al had to miss a couple of streams last week, and he does have some health medical things going on, and it would be great if you sent some love, some positivity and energy. If you want to put some nerdy heart emojis into the chat, it may seem silly, but it actually does save lives. So throw it into the chat, give some love to Al, and I believe he is fine. He may have even been in the chat today. I didn't get a chance to fully see. But I'm sure he's fine, and he'll pull through. CGM Shout. Hulu's MODOK show is coming this year. It looks good. That's cool, man. I'm glad that you think it looks cool. I think I saw some of it online. I did not think it looked cool. But look, if there's a ton of people that like it, or even just a few, that's dope, dude. Have fun with that. Yeah, have fun with that, bro. I mean, first of all, it would MODOK and claymation. That is just two strikes for me. I'm not really feeling it. Chet with the $5 holla says, I quit. Chet, was that really you? Because, read your contract, man. I think we'll talk later. Big Stevie W with another super chat says, does Max dare release the Snyder Cut early due to Wonder Woman 84? Go Al. I don't know, man. I don't know if they even can release it early, right? They have to make sure that it's ready. I mean, the worst thing that they could do is probably release one episode of it and then delay the rest, right? Something like that would be such a bad look. So they probably want to make sure it's all ready to go before they do it. Maximilian with, again, another 50. Thank you so much, man. It's a good name. Dirt Wizard says, I'll take Chet's job, LOL. Blick, blick. Oh, man. We would, yeah. I'm sure you could easily take it. You know what I mean? Look, I love that. I think Chet's real cool, but Chet ain't shit. All right, so what's, Blick has me cracking up. Yeah. Yo, dog. John Hicks says, yo, dog, DC is going to crumble beneath the weight of Marvel's multiverse. 2021 is all about the MCU. Any whispers of Thor, other siblings out there? Yeah, I heard some things. We'll see. We'll see what they do with that. I think it's very possible that we're going to... Remember there was that rumor we covered about the Thor core? And everyone was like, Josh, you don't say the P on that. It's not Thor corpse. It's Thor core. You just don't do that anymore. And I was like, shut up. Yeah. So I think it's actually possible we see an alternate version of some of these characters. We get a little Thor core going on. I got timed out earlier for saying the one downvote is from Pablo Hidalgo. Well, look, if you got timed out, I'm just going to go ahead and side with my mods. You were probably being ridiculous. Josh, did you see Spider-Man 4 Tobey movie reported by Daniel? Oh, I did not see that. I will check that out, but that would make sense as to why. Yeah, you got, see? Grays. See? Black Panther, you try that shit around here, man. You try that shit around here, man. These nerd Avengers, they're always watching. But, yeah, I think it's perfectly possible. Oh, man, you guys are blowing my mind with some shit right now. I'm going to lose track of what I'm saying. Holy shit. You're talking about Plagueis? Are you guys fooling me? Are y'all fooling with me right now? Are you messing with me right now? Thor or Heimdall going to... Okay, hang on. Let me talk about the Thor thing. Yeah, I did. Okay, fine. Mason Graves says, is Thor or Heimdall going to make a cameo in Loki? A version of Thor will absolutely make a cameo. Maybe Heimdall as well, but I don't know. Apparently, RPK said Darth Plagueis will be in the Acolyte, as I'm fairly certain Evan Peters is a version of Quicksilver in WandaVision with 9 episodes in an 8-week run. That is pretty interesting. That is very interesting. Okay, so speaking of the Acolyte thing, yeah, I 100% believe that Plagueis will at least be mentioned and possibly talked about. As I said before, and I said this on Nerd Theory last week, but it got overshadowed by all of the drama. I have heard that there will be an emphasis on the dark side coming from Lucasfilm, and that maybe after we get through some of the stuff with the Mandalorian, Filoni verse, Thrawn situation, that we may well get a lot of dark side. A lot of dark side coming after that. Godfather says it's pronounced corpse. No, it's not. CGM Show says the leaked Eternal bios look awesome. That's cool, man. Do you know anything about Quicksilver and WandaVision? Either one. I have heard many things, Nick. I think there's a lot of speculation on that. It's also funny because sometimes people like have to lie to you and shit. It's weird. Like, this whole game is so weird, dude. I don't know what to believe. Look, my gut tells me he's Mephisto. I think he is both Mephisto and the Beekeeper. I think he is either Mephisto or Nightmare. That's what I think. But it is possible that he's also just Quicksilver. Because think about this. Wouldn't this be wild if... Imagine a scene in which the children are talking about how their uncle's sleeping on the couch, and we all go out to the couch, and we just assume it's going to be the other dude. But it's not. It's Evan Peters. What would you think? And what if there's like no real explanation given? What if it has something to do with the multiverse breaking down? You know what I mean? Mike Porter with the $5 holla says, do you believe part of the reason the MCU is so successful is that even a good, not great MCU movie is because it's connected to a larger story? I do agree with that. I think that, honestly, Mike, there's a lot of reasons that Marvel is so successful, but obviously the connective part of it is a big, big, big aspect of it. But also, they just simply make, most of the time, pretty good movies, right? The complaint about, like, the DC Marvel comparison is like, if you steelman the argument of people that really don't like Marvel, it's that all the movies are the same. It's that they have this very, bland kind of feeling. They all feel like a comic book, really. And if that's your complaint, that's fine. And that, in some ways is fair. But DC's is like, it's all over the fucking place. I have no idea what's going on. You know what I mean? Like, it's like you literally have like Joker, Shazam, fucking BVS. Like, what is happening over there, right? So that's part of it too. They just mostly make mass appeal product, and they're very good at that in the same way that like Pixar is. So there's a lot to the success of Marvel's formula, but yeah, I mean, you could put a lot of this at the feet of Feige because, whether or not he was, especially in the last 5 years, where he has gotten more and more control. Like, the thing has gotten more successful the more control he has gotten. That is weird. You know what I mean? What do you think Monica Rambeau's role in WandaVision is? Is she working for SWORD and infiltrating Wanda's world? Perhaps? Yes. I believe it will connect to what's going to end up happening with, like, Wanda's children and Doctor Strange 2, because she's in Doctor Strange 2. So I think this whole multiverse thing's about to get really weird, and WandaVision is the perfect kind of show to sort of present the weirdness, get us ready for the weirdness, as it were. Kansas Beef Studios $5 holla says, I'm very excited for Marvel and Star Wars. I'm also hungry. Not for food. I'm hungry for you. Ow! Ow, ow! Kansas Beef Studios. Oh, man. My heart belongs to another. Thank you so much, though. Ross Brimmer with the $10 holla says, yes, but if they change the character's sex, to change it or turn them gay or bi. Oh, my God. Just pander to the yesterday. Sorry, but Captain Marvel was cringy for a lot of that stuff. Yeah, Ross, I get you, man. I get you. I think that people like you, Ross, need to understand that there are a lot of people on the exact opposite end to you. But more importantly, there are way more people than the people like you and the people on the opposite end of you in the middle that are just simply not as bothered by these things. Either way, we're not as bothered. And I really wish more of the normal, well, I shouldn't say normal because you're presumably normal, Ross, depending on the way your chats come after this. You're presumably normal. But what I mean to say is that the vast majority of people, the medium person, statistically speaking, simply just does not care that much. Like, I actually went back and watched Captain Marvel several times. I think it's a pretty good movie. Like, it's not great, but it's, I think, damn better than 1984 Wonder Woman bullshit film. Like, say what you will for that movie, and it has all sorts of problems, which I believe is why those directors are not attached anymore, right? The literally, like, anyway, I feel you, dog. And if they're doing it flagrantly and it's whack and completely out of place, then I think you're well within your rights to talk about it, right? Mike Porter with the $2 holla says, or is the MCU so great because of Feige? That is the more correct answer. Yes, in my opinion, Mike. And then you did another one and you said, sorry to everyone who disagrees, but the MCU rules. You don't have to apologize for nothing. The MCU clearly rules. Clearly. Scoreboard. Ross Brimmer says with the $5 holla, I just pray they don't screw up Logan and make him a soy boy. Now I need to see Soy Boy Wolverine. I need to see it. I need to. Now I need to see the alternate universe where, like, Logan has all, like, is, instead of being like a warrior dude or whatever, is like a total, like, SJW whatever. Like, I need to see that reality. That would be kind of funny, dude. And you're more interested in the Snyder Cut, says Ross. Okay, right on, man. Yeah. So on the topic of Logan, I believe we're going to get 2 of them at least. I think it's possible one of them pops up in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I actually think it's possible that the guy from Stranger Things, what was that guy's name? The guy that plays like the studly bad boy, whatever his face was, that he may well be Logan in the 616 in our universe. What's your thing? What do you think? Good or bad idea? Good or bad? You let me know. Is these good or bad? Bad. Oh, boy. Oh, my God. Michael Cera would be perfect for the Soy Boy Wolverine. Holy shit. Oh, my God. Michael Cera. Can somebody please do some art of that, please? Darcy. Yeah, it's not Darcy, though. People got so mad at me. They're like, well, he is French-German of the second French. How dare you call him Darcy? Dude, I can't pronounce anything. I can't spell shit. Everybody gets so offended. Anyway, Ezra Delare with the very generous $20 holla says, honestly, I think it's a matter of time until Disney sets its sight on Warner and decides to buy them too. If they do you think the quality of the movies will improve? Much love. Keep up the great work, man. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. Oh, man. I just don't see that. Look, here's the thing. If I were to have a conversation with Jason Kilar, or if I were to sit down and talk to him in any capacity, I'd be like, dude, you've got the goods, son. You've got the goods, brother. You've got some of the most iconic pop culture things ever created. You are living in the wake of bad decisions made in the past. It's like the ripple effect. Some of the ripples in the pond that are like that are screwing things up for Jason and Warner are the result of causes from a long time ago. So just let all that pan out, figure out your new way forward. I think the multiverse is a great example. I think DC Fandom was an incredible example of how they could make it work. But they need to really double down and do some hard work and get some visionary people in there and figure that out. Because I'm sorry, like, look, J.J. Abrams, Superman versus Snyder stuff, like, man, if J.J., don't you do it. Don't you do it. Anyway. WandaVision and Falcon and Winter Soldier Loki should be at least interesting. I may be conservative for most, but it's the way it is. Amen, dude. Be you. Stephen J says, $5 holla. Do you think Disney Plus or all this new Star Wars content would even exist today without the success of the MCU franchise? Well, that's kind of a hard one. I see what you're saying, though, man. Of course, the MCU changed things and the connective thing and all that, man. Whew, yeah, big part of it. Big play on that. So, yeah, I think that it all sort of influences, itself in some ways. But, yeah, dude, so much content. And I'll tell you this. I just am grateful that we live in a timeline where Kevin Feige is a thing. You know? Like, for real. I just don't know if we're all really fully aware of the impact this single person has had on an industry. It's pretty wild. Kendall Davis, what's up, brother, with a $5 holla says, I think Star Wars beat DC to the punch for the second spot. Yeah, it's very... Hey, look, it's possible, man. It is possible. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. But, yeah, if there's some surprise announcements, maybe Star Wars could take it. But it also just heavily depends on Snyder Cut, on Matt Reeves' Batman, and a lot of other things. So, thank you for the love, though, bro. Renee says, I've missed a lot of shows lately, but I wanted to share my New Year's resolution. to tell my wife how much money I send you. Oh my God. Yeah, okay, Renee. I don't know if I would say that. Hey, look, you can always lay off of the super chats, brother. It's okay. Lay off the super chats. You know what I mean? It's all good, man. Lord Vito with the $5 holla says, how would you feel about the Power Rangers cinematic universe? Dude, shattered grid type multiverse. Dude, there's so much potential there, Veed. I would love it, dude. I would love it. I'd love it. Hard to say if they could make it work. You know, hard to say. Who would they get in? You know what I mean? Like, who would you bring in to help build all that and all that? I mean, it's interesting, right? It's really interesting. I'm a fan. I'm a fan of the Power Rangers. And I'm not afraid to say it. I like the Power Rangers. Do I think Snyder Cut succeeds, Disney will make another version of the sequel trilogy? No, I don't. But, hey, maybe. Eternals is the first movie to be shot on film since Phase 1, which I'm surprised about. But it's going to look vastly different than what we've gotten in a while because of that. Yes, it is going to look epic, dude. Epic. And of course, I mean, do you guys know that they shot in a real volcano? If you follow us on Twitter, I will often like retweet things or talk about things that we don't necessarily just do a whole video on or whatever. But I talked about it on Twitter that one of the big action sequences was shot in a actual volcano. And they had a massive amount of people there. And it's going to be epic like you couldn't believe. And it's inside of a volcano. And the volcano, like, you got to go to our Twitter and find the picture because it's freaking incredible, dude. Like, it looks so cool. So, yeah, man. Eternals is going to be dope. Missed that. Do you think theaters are hoping MCU brings the audience it once had for great revenue and normalcy? Absolutely. And I think that in some ways the MCU will stabilize. But like the industry, like, I don't know, man. I don't want to go too hard on the business side of it. I have a lot of thoughts on this 34 Virgo. And I appreciate the love and I appreciate the support. But I just don't know. You know, I got a lot of thoughts on this. Because on the one hand, it's like, what is really the incentive for Disney to be the company that just brings theaters back? I simply don't see the actual incentive for them to do that. Do you know what I mean? So, like, there has to be... something's got to give. And I think there might be something brewing with regards to that. So. The main issue with retconning the sequels is that, one... it was okay, guys. I love you guys so much. Let's do no more super chats for the day. You know, I'll probably get out of here in like 5 to 10 minutes. Love. Just, you know, let's pick it up tomorrow. You know, no more supers if you can resist. The main issue is it was Carrie's last performance. Duh, very good point. Ford and Billy D are too old. Yes. And it would be disrespectful. Yeah, so those are all great points. I just don't see them retconning Carrie's last performance at all. They also made $5 billion. Like, there's just a lot. Yeah. But what if there was a hidden history? What if there was, well, a story that wasn't told that happened with Luke Skywalker and maybe some of his Jedi? What if there was a story that happened in between Jedi and The Force Awakens? One that has been not told until now. Wouldn't that be cool? Geologist B, welcome to the Nerd Vengers. You're a Nerd Venger now. Welcome. Peasy says, Joe Keery, Steve from Stranger Things, would have been a better Han Solo. Ooh, that's great. Yeah. He's good, dude. I like that guy. That dude's cool, man. Trinity from Second Street Marvel says, whoops with the $5 holla. Yeah, you screwed up, man. You screwed up, but I appreciate you, and I appreciate the love. Okay, guys, we're going to call it there. Thank you guys so much. We are going to be back at it tomorrow. Of course, Nerd Theory tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, over on Star Wars Theories channel. Gonna knock out a vid for you later today. Everybody's like, oh, what? You're not doing actual videos on the channel anymore? It's all just clips. It's all just edited videos. Relax. Just had a busy week last week. You know, we're planning a lot behind the scenes. Just relax. We'll do solo videos again on the main channel. Yeah. Other than that, stay tuned to the Tweeter. Check out the Discord server. And as I always say, I hope you're having an awesome and a nerdy day. And I'll see you in the next video.